with Tao. How to return to the heart center. There are three spaces, one above the heart center, the other below the heart center, and the third, the heart center is the space. The space above the heart center is governed by the mind stuff, the thoughts, the inner noise, the disturbance, and so many other things. It has to be handled, it has to be dealt in a different way. There is a space below the heart space, and that space is guided by emotions. When the existential bioenergy does not flow properly, it does not nourish and nurture the centers, the channels, the passage from where the energy is to the heart center. And when the rising energy from the space below the heart center, it reaches the space above the heart, bypassing the heart center, it becomes the mind stuff. How does it happen? All these are interconnected. First, the interconnection has to be seen. You are born with the existential bioenergy that is known as life force. It is like when you buy a new laptop or a smartphone, it has a certain amount of charge in it. And in order to operate that system, the smartphone or laptop, you are given a charger. You have to continue to charge it through the external source. You are given a block that you have to put it into your electrical socket and use the charger to connect your system, the laptop or the smartphone, to continue to charge. And then the battery conserves the charge. It gets charged, and the charge that is how the system works. So you have to make sure that your battery is not overcharged or undercharged. Something like this happens in our life. We are born with existential bioenergy. And this bioenergy, you have to continue to connect it to the external source so that the battery is charged, and charged is preserved in the battery which is within your system, and then you can use it for continuous use. There are two poles below. The battery must have two poles, positive and negative. There are human beings, but for the practical purposes, we have the male and female. These two centers are the earth center and the water center. In case of a man or a male, the earth center is positive and water center is negative pole. And it is when these two poles are connected in a systematic manner, then the battery is charged. And then you consume the energy without wasting it. The energy that you are generating within is for proper use. You can have your system turned on and you forget that it is on, so the charge will run down. Or you have forgotten that it has to be connected so that the process of recharging continues, and you have not replenished the charge. So whatsoever charge was there, that was finished. It's like when you go out, you need some money in your wallet or in your credit card or debit card. But if you forget to recharge or clear the outstanding balance in the credit card, that credit card will not be available to you if you have not put enough money into your debit card. There will be nothing available. This is the way the energy system in a way works, and we can understand it through this example, that this is how it works. In case of a male, the earth center is masculine or positive and water center is negative. In case of a female, it is reversed. The water center is positive and earth center is negative. The earth center is the source of energy. It comes from outside, and the negative pole is within the system. So the water center is known as sex center. Through proper understanding and use of this sex center, the energy gets charged. Otherwise, the terminal is on and it is not recharging, and then all the energy is exhausted and you have nothing. This is the way. If you are using your system, laptop or the smartphone vigorously, you have to focus on recharging it same time or afterwards, so that charge does not run down. And if it is said about the battery, if the battery is overcharged, it damages. If it is undercharged, never let the battery remain charge go down below a certain percentage, and do not allow it to cross a certain percentage at all. But this is what we has been doing in our life when we interact into male-female relation or sexual relationship. Either you are in exhaustion, you lose the charge, or you are overcharged with many things. When you understand the sex, energy, or the technique properly, only then it is possible that your battery is not finished of the charge, it is not overcharged. At the same time, it maintains the balance. So proper understanding of that is important. When this battery is charged, through your sexual act, fulfillment comes in life, and that fulfillment continues. And through the fulfillment, in case of a battery, you have to connect it to the electrical source. Through this interaction between male and female, the charge is generated, battery gets continuously charged, charge is conserved, the energy is conserved, and this helps to flow through the other channels. So below the heart center there are 3 centers: earth center, water center, and the solar plexus, the center through which you were connected to your mother during the period of conception. It is through the umbilical cord. And when you are born, that connection with the mother's womb is severed. Now you have to consciously create the connection with the existential source of energy through your understanding and other methods, through your breathing pattern, through your deep understanding. You can continue to maintain that existential umbilical cord so that your battery is continuously charged. This is how it goes on. And then you have enough energy, like as if you are going to the marketplace or somewhere you are going for a trip. And so what you have to do, you have to pay off your credit cards, have enough money in your debit card, so that, or you have enough the gas in your vehicle so that you do not run out of these things along the way. But if you are on a long journey, then you have to refill your vehicle with the gas. So this is how we can understand. We have to continuously refill our energies through the physical interaction between male and female. This is Tantra system. It can be done through meditation alone. But that is, if that is your way, then you can use that way. But the easiest way for everyone is sexual interaction. But there is, every system has its own discipline that you have to follow. The sexual interaction has to be done in a particular manner. You, just as when you are putting your system, the smartphone or laptop, to charge, the charger has to be of a particular quality. Not all the chargers can charge your system. The terminals are different for different kind of system. The laptop system is different. Even in Mac now, there are different systems. Earlier on, there was one system that can work with your iPhone and MacBook, but now they are different. In the same way, in a Samsung phone, there are different types of terminals for the charger, C-type or the regular type. In the same way, in renewing your sexual energy, you have to know how to do it. Not that since that you are grown up, you are an adult, you are adolescent, so you can do it. That age does not give you a guarantee that you can perform your act properly. It needs a deep understanding. And that's where when we miss that, we get into all sort of problems, frustration, anger, and all this. Where does it go? It immediately bypasses the heart center and goes to the mind stuff. So if the energy is moving properly, the lust becomes love, love becomes compassion, and it activates the heart center, which Sufis call Kalb Zakiruna, or the heart center is invoked. It is not emotions. Emotions can be positive and the negative. Both are the extremes. When the emotions are neutral, that's where that state, when the emotions are neutral, neither negative nor positive, just flowing like a river. That is what we call as love. There is no word like the real love or anything else. We can use it for many purposes. When love is free of emotions, positive or negative, it is neutral emotions, then you experience the spring of love is blossoming, is now emerging from deep within. You have discovered the source of existential love within you. Then that activates, nourishes the heart center. This, according Jesus calls it, in Christianity it is known as Sacred Heart. Sufis call it as heart, as kalb, and it is known as antarman, the inner voice. So when this energy, that is disturbed energy, through the improper use of the sexual energy and existential energy, improper balance between the two, it bypasses that and it reaches there, it becomes tension, it becomes aggression, it becomes frustration, it creates a chaos, misery, and conflict. So these are the conflict is there in the mind. So as a result of the conflict arising in the mind, your life becomes that of misery and chaos. When it creates, continuously creating noise within you, there is a constant chatterbox. It goes into your mind that is known as, the word, Hindi word is chit. And when Adi Shankar says in Atma Shatkam, Manobuddh ahankar chittani naham, Manobuddh ahankar chittani naham, I am neither the mind nor the storehouse of the memory, nor ego sense. So with the disturbance, the energy that has bypassed the heart center and reached the mind, it becomes it gives birth to ego, it gives birth to anger, it gives birth to frustration, it gives birth to chaos and so many other associates with it. And it becomes that you are not able to interact with anyone. There is so much noise within. So, first, if your act of sex has not been understood and it is not properly moving, the energy is not moving there. And then it bypasses the heart center and reaches and becomes the mind stuff. So there is a deep connection between the two. And as a harmony between the two, there comes a life of bliss which is beyond duality. There is no duality, there is no confusion, there is no conflict. So you are in the life of bliss and harmony. So first of all, to allow that it is a two-way process. If you have followed the growth pattern how it's supposed to be, either through the meditation or through the love, whatever be your method. But the most common factor is male-female relation. If you have understood it, you have followed it scientifically, properly understanding it, then the energy, the battery continuously charged, you are never lost, you never feel any loss of energy, you are always energized, your battery is always charged. And when the battery is charged, when the sex is totally fulfilled, tremendous understanding, intelligence comes into you, because the energy that was going into chaos and everything is freed of all those disturbances, so it is available for your use. You are not wasting your energy in useless pursuits, and everything is totally available to you. And when it is available to you, it sharpens your intelligence, it sharpens your memory, it sharpens your perception, it sharpens your intuition. You understand this. Otherwise, you are always disturbed because of the chaos going on within, misery going on within. And when it reaches the hearts, the mind center, and becomes the mind stuff, bypassing the heart center, then you can correct it at the initial stage. But if you fail to do it, that is what happens with most of the people. When they fail to do it, then it has to be worked at the mind stuff. If the energy, the space below the heart center, inclusive of three centers, the earth center, the water center, and the solar plexus, it flows properly, and your act of sex is properly done with in a scientific manner, with a deep understanding, then the energy, it is the entire space below the heart center is nourished. So when the energy reaches there, there is no more lust reaches to the heart center, only love. No more positive emotions or negative emotions reaches the heart center. Only the emotions that are neutral, that are neither positive nor negative, they reach the heart center. And then when your emotions are neutral, then for the first time you feel the love blossoming into you. Its fragrance, its beauty manifests as compassion. You are compassionate to others. Look deep within you. What has made you compassionate in whatever way you are? Whatever way you are feeling more loving to others for no reason, and there is no need to interact at the level of the body, but you feel a kind of energy. Love becomes an energy, not an emotion, not an emotion anymore. Love is energy. That you have discovered the source within you. Now it has reached, it kindled up your heart center, and when it has kindled up from the heart center, there is tremendous energy flowing into you, and you never feel any loss of energy at any point in time. It may happen, the physical tiredness may come sometimes. That also it happens when at that moment we are not aware. 100% aware becomes sometimes difficult when you are living in the world. Yes, when you have attained a certain level of understanding or awakening, then even while living and interacting with the world of objects, in the world of objects and beings, with the people, then you can maintain your composure and energy will not filter into in any way. It continues to consume. It is said about Winston Churchill that he had a chamber behind his room behind his chamber where he used to go and spend a few minutes before he has to give a public address or anything. So you can find certain moments of solitude in your own company, even amidst the busy schedules. You are working in an office, you can spare a few moments during your break time or in a gap between whatever work you are doing. Whatever work you are dealing with, the office staff, consumers, or you are cashing, you are not cashing 24 hours. If you are aware, there is a gap between two customers. One customer has come in, and by the time you finish cashing all the items, you do not go into cashing the next items until the items that you had cashed for customer A are properly packed and given to the customer. Then the counter where the item that you have been cashed is put, otherwise they get mixed up. That is an interval. During that interval, you can naturally connect to yourself. So while you are working, you will not be tired. You will be fresh every time. It is not a continuous flow. Very rarely it happens. And even in that situation, you can find moments of solitude when you can connect to yourself. And that is very important in order to keep energized 24 hours. Now this is where, when the space below is taken care of properly, you have understood how to interact into the act of sex or whatever you call it, love making, so that the energy that you interact, you enter into love relationship because of lust. When energy is moving in such a way that you are feeling physically or emotionally aroused, that moment lust is born into you. Now through your deep understanding and scientific manner, you have to convert this lust into an energy which is neutral and emotions neutral. You enter into sex relationship guided by either the imbalance between emotions. If the emotions are balanced, then lust will not be born. If Either you are guided by the negative emotions or positive emotion, love, the lust will not prosper. And once you had transcended this, lust becomes love, and it is the love that can alone dwell in the heart center. If there is lust, if there is an imbalance, it bypasses the heart space and reaches to the mind in the form of chaos, misery, conflict, frustration, stress, and all these kind of high-sounding words that we all use. Just yesterday, somebody sent me a message relating to this imbalance, life of stress and chaos, stress, disturbance, and all that, and he finds no way to come out of that. Then, if you had reached to that state, you have to be taken out into the process of catharsis. And that catharsis, there are many methods. Because the energy have bypassed the heart center and it has reached the mind stuff, it has become the mind stuff as chaos, disturbance, stress, and frustration, on all these words that can come to your mind to explain that situation. So enough for now. I will take the next step, cleansing the mind stuff, in tomorrow, in the next session. Enough for now.